That sounded way more academic. So probably in a nice follow-up to Ian's presentation, I'm Michael Strong. I'm an urban planner with the City of Edmonton. And tonight I just want to talk a little bit about just kind of how our city's changing, how we're engaging citizens, and then also some ideas I have about kind of using technology differently to help engage residents, citizens as yourself as the city changes. I wanted to include this slide here because it really speaks to Edmonton as part of a larger region. In the next 25 years, people are saying that our city is going to grow from about 1 million to about 2.2 million people. And as you can imagine, that creates quite a bit of complexity in terms of how people move through our city, where we choose to live, the different amenities that we need. And again, like Ian talked about, the importance of parks and schools. But these are all really complex issues. And the problem with increasing complexity is you need new ways of thinking about how you plan for that. And as a planner coming out of a tradition that is historically kind of top-down and technocratic, there are things in the toolbox that are, outdated. And while it may have worked for that moment in time, it doesn't work so well today. There are movements in planning itself that are looking at different ways of engaging people. And these two, Shipley and Schneekloth, they're really looking at ways of how do we engage, how do we talk with each other differently, how do we create that space, and then form action around that to actually effect meaningful change. I wanted to include this slide just because when we think about some of the problems we have today, we need different ways of solving those. But we can't solve tomorrow's problems with today's thinking. We have to think differently. We have to go to different corners to engage those that maybe we traditionally don't. Maybe some of you have been to one of these. When we think about public engagement, these are some of the images that come to mind. Going to a gymnasium is really echoey. People don't want to engage. It's just one person talking at them. So as a planner, I'm really concerned about that. And I know council is as well. They've undertaken an initiative to really re-examine how we engage as a city, citizens, administration, and what do we do to really improve that relationship? Because it is about relationship building. It is about trying to be more inclusive and try new things. And I think, as a city, we shouldn't be afraid of trying new things. It's okay to fail. But it's even more important to kind of pick yourself back up again and keep going. As an Edmontonian, that's one of the things I love about our city and ourselves, is that we are resilient and we do like to take risks, and I think we can take more. That felt like a long 20 seconds. Okay, there we go, back on track. I wanted to include this slide just to give people a sense of how much technology is out there just on your phone. And as a planner, we're looking for new ways of engaging people. How do we harness technology? It's all very exciting. But which one of these apps do you use to bring into a project, to use it in your next one? When we look at MIT, Lego gave them about $5 million about 10 years ago and said, hey, why don't we support you in using these Lego blocks and some modeling that you can do in real time to test things like pollution, how quickly you can move people, urban densities. This is really great if you have $5 million, but we're small in Edmonton. We don't have that much money. This is a snapshot from Edmonton's Planning Academy for a transit-oriented development. And as a citizen, you can sign up and go to a lot of these different Planning Academy courses and use these kind of tools. This one is all about how we empower citizens to become designers. And what excites me about this is that with the advent of 3D printing, we have a lot of different possibilities of creating smaller blocks that, when held in the hands of yourself and a group of people on a table, you can actually design your own community. You can start thinking about those problems, because to do so, you then have to grapple with what we grapple with as planners. You think about density. Where is my community going to grow in the future? Where should it grow? How will people move? How will they access that building? That's a different conversation than someone speaking at you. You actually have to own that problem, understand the issues, and really internalize all those different complexities. Even things like, which way does the building face? What roof lines? How many people can we put on this corner? Does it look good? These are all really important design questions and problems that we have that we think would be useful to find different ways of working with you as citizens. Imagine being able to go through a series of these exercises and vote them up or down from your phone. Maybe you can't make it to a workshop. Maybe you can, but by using technology, we can leverage and kind of expand how we engage you over time and you know, wherever you are. But that's one technology. The other one is augmented reality. It's been around for a while, but what excites me about this is that there's new ways to really kind of, again, visualize change. And change is a scary thing, but there are different ways we can use this to help us make decisions, and decisions that affect you and your own community. One of the things that's exciting about this is that right now we have these 6-foot by 6-foot signs that list all the different zoning uses and tell you what it's going to be, but that's just words, it's just text. Imagine walking down the street and you pull out your phone and say, what's going to be here? You click on it, you see the building, you're like, well, that's garbage, or that's going to shadow me. You could then respond back. You can provide good input. I'm really excited by this one because did you know we're doing planning for the Center LRT? And there are two types of technology we have in the city. One is low floor, one is high floor. Imagine going to a workshop and being able to walk around the vehicle and think about how it will actually integrate with your community. That would be wonderful to be able to see where the benches could be or where the trees could be. And we can also use it in different ways. Things to remind us of our past, remind us of our buildings, because we do have a past. We have a really rich past, but we could use it in ways that help us remember it, cherish it, honor it. And when we think about this, it also forces us to think about our city, a city that we don't own today, but we share. And going forward into the future, we want to be able to put our city in a good place that we can continue to share it and celebrate our differences and basically enjoy our future together moving forward. So that's my presentation. Thank you.